Hi dear students, welcome to online classes, Bangalore University, digital learning. Today I am going to talk about animal farm. Especially, I'll be talking about chapter 8 of the animal farm. Earlier we discussed about chapter 7. In that chapter, we had seen a lot of chaos, lot of disturbances, a lot of dilemmas we had observed in chapter 7 just due to the leadership of the despotic ruler Napoleon with his cruelty towards the animals. He was not, leading the animals properly. That had shown pretty clearly. And again, all animals were running out of food, and the plan was not good executed properly at the attempts of rebuilding the windmill. Now, we will be talking about chapter 8. In this chapter, again, there are some human interferences and the chaos. It will continue, the confusion, it will continue, and finally, the animals are changing their commandments in regular intervals. Fine. Those are all things. Those are all the things we'll discuss in this particular chapter. So this novel is prescribed for Mangalore University BA third semester student. Uh, okay, dear students. Now I'll be talking about the chapter 8. In this chapter, after the so many executions, the animals question whether these events fall in line with the seven commandments. Look at that, especially talking about the important incidents which was going to be happening in chapter 7, killing hens, killing, the pigs. Okay, assumed that they were the followers of a snowball. That was not good. In fact, they were rethinking about their seven commandments, whether it is there in that particular commandment or not. When thinking about this particular event, they remember one of the commandments, stating that no animal shall kill another animal. Earlier, they are noticing this particular commandment: no animal shall kill another animal. So they did not follow this particular command when it comes to the matter of the bloodshed in the chapter 7. See, soon after that particular incident, after some investigation, Muriel the goat reads the commandment on the wall aloud. Again, there is a change you can notice. I mean, this kind of changes are appearing simultaneously in this particular chapter. Especially, Muriel the goat reads aloud about this commandment, and they discover it actually reads, "No animal shall kill another animal without cause." See, they changed the commandments according to their comfortabilities. So, the general conditions for the animals, continue to be harsh, and the workload of rebuilding the windmill and regular farm duties requires additional effort. To see, look at the tiresome work for the animals. They were about to rebuild the windmill, and at the same time they had to work pretty hard in the farm duties. So this is the kind of a tough situation. They were running out of the food. They were not given proper food, although the animals believe that they are getting no more food than they did under Mr. Jones. The animals are comparing the present condition with the earlier condition when Mr. Jones was the leader of the animal farm. It was quite better then compared to today's situation. Squealer presents weekly numbers that seem to prove they are actually getting more food or better off, and he is the one who is changing all the scenarios. Squealer, and he presumes himself that the kind of statistics he has given to the animals, they are receiving more food than earlier. At this point, Squealer is doing most of Napoleon's public speaking. Napoleon is not found in public. He was somewhere sitting behind the screens and making all his wishes with the presence of the squealer and some of his followers. Napoleon has isolated himself in the farmhouse away from even the other pigs and rarely appears in public. He is appearing in a rare situations, especially when it comes to the matter of public matters. When three hens confess to plotting to assassinate Napoleon in summer, he becomes even more isolated, adds more guard dogs, and gets a food taster. Look at that. He is getting food, a tastier food. He is having more guards in the name of dogs, and also having lot of comfortabilities. Where he has, noticed that the three hens are having a kind of a platform in order to kill Napoleon. By looking all these situation, he isolated himself. The hens are executed then, and again they were breaking the rule of commandments. The pigs circulate poems and songs praising Napoleon as the savior and protector of all the animals. Again, the pigs continue to boost Napoleon's grandeur nature as well as the savior of the animals. Napoleon's negotiations with the other farms become more complicated as he plans to sell a pile of timber to either Pilkington and or on Frederick. This is most important concept in this particular chapter. You have to remember, my dear students. See, Napoleon had a plan to sell his timber woods to either Pilkington or Frederick, and he had a plan to sell them. And this leads lot of chaos in this particular chapter. Frederick wants the timber but won't meet the Napoleon's price. See, actually, Frederick wanted to buy that timber from Napoleon, but he did not meet the price of the Napoleon. Then finally he withdrew. So Napoleon announces plans to sell to Mr. Pilkington and spreads rumors about Frederick plans to attack the farm. Look at that. See, when Frederick was failed to meet the Napoleon's price, and Napoleon spreads the rumors against Frederick, and he is going to attack on animal farm. And a Gander who says he knew that Snowball mixed weed seeds in with the wheat, confess and commits a suicide. Look at that. Again the concept comes inside this particular chapter. Snowball, who is nowhere seen in this particular chapter more oftenly. I mean, the pigs revise the story of the Battle of the Cowshed again. You see, the pigs are remembering the Battle of the Cowshed. This time, they reveal that Snowball's active cowardice. They consider themselves that Snowball is a coward hero. After all these rumors and stories, the animals are shocked and to learn that Napoleon has sold the timber to Frederick. Finally, Napoleon sold all his timbers which are there in animal farm to Frederick. By come to know this matter, all animals were shocked. Once they hear that the whole story, the animals are proud of Napoleon's negotiating prowess and demand cash payment instead of check. See, Napoleon demanded the cash payment from Frederick instead of check. With the windmill finished and timber sold, the machinery for the windmill can be purchased and all their dreams can come true. Look at that. This is the wish the animals wanted to have in the animal farm. They wanted to complete the windmill project, and at the same time they wanted to sell the this one timber and build the machinery to the windmill. So that is what their dream. So finally their dream come true in the form of Napoleon. He sold the timbers to the Frederick. 3 days after the sale, Mr. Wimper announces that Frederick's money is counterfeit and he has cheated them at all. He cheated them all. Look at that. There is a storm which came. Into the words of Mr. Wimper, he announced pretty clearly, Mr. Frederick, he took the timbers from Napoleon and he cheated us. He is not giving the right money true money, a good currency, he has counterfeited our currency. That is the reason why, again, there are some rumors which are happening in the context of Napoleon, and Napoleon pronounces a death sentence on Frederick. Look at that. The moment he heard that, he counterfeits, and as well as he befooled them, and he announced the death sentence on Frederick and prepares for an attack the next morning. He announces immediately to all the animals, prepare for an attack with the treacherous Frederick, and he befooled us, he cheated us. The animals are outmatched, and the men have guns. Look at that. The animals are, fighting very hard, and the men have guns. The animals send a message to Pilkington, who refuses to help, and finally they wanted to get some help from Pilkington. They wanted to up against Mr. Frederick. So he refused. Pilkington refused to give his hand to the animals. The battle culminates when Frederick and his men blow up the finished windmill. The animals who have retreated are outraged by this act and counterattack vigorously, suffering casualties but driving the humans from ultimately this battle with the human beings, especially with the Frederick. The animals have got the kind of a power, and they managed to get away the animal form, the humans from the animal form. And they had the kind of a victory. Then the pigs declare a victory and hold a ceremony celebrating that, what they call the Battle of Windmill. Just you have to notice, my dear friend, there will be a question in the examination on this particular chapter about the Battle of the Windmill and the interferences of the human beings, how human beings are treated by the animals in the chapter 8, and they were finally taken away out of the animal form. The animals are crushed by the loss of the windmill and don't understand why the pigs want to celebrate. Finally, they crushed themselves for the loss of the windmill. No, the pig, whereas the pigs are arranging the kind of celebration in order to celebrate their victory. A squealer convinces them the battle is a triumph. Finally, Squealer, the treacherous pig, hypocritical one, a very cruel planner, and he is there to convince us them all the battle is triumph because the animals held onto the farm. But they are not fully convinced until Napoleon speaks to them. See, Napoleon was nowhere on screen then, and they wanted him to come and address them. The fallen animals are given a funeral. Finally, in that battle of windmill, some of the animals, so they were killed, and they were given some funerals, and the rest of the animals received extra rations. A few days after the battle, the pigs discover whiskey in the farmhouse and drink. This is the kind of a greatest drawback in the animal farm. A few days after this battle, the pigs discover the whiskey. I mean, the trace of whiskey inside the animal farmhouse. And the morning, soon after that drink, the morning after, the pigs announce, and a comrade Napoleon is dying. Look at that. Just because of that hangover, the pigs announce, Napoleon, our comrade, is dying. But he seems to feel better by evening. That night, the animal hear a noise in the barn and find Squealer unconscious. Look at the two important, unexpected things are going to be happening. The pigs announcing Napoleon is dying, and Squealer found unconscious on the ground next to a ladder and a paint can. One of the seven commandments now reads, "No animal shall drink alcohol to excess." Again, one more changes you find in the context of seven commandments. Again, they are changing, no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. So there will be short notes of this particular chapter on battle of windmill. After the completion of the windmill in August, Napoleon sells the pile of timber to Frederick, who tries to pay with a check, and he refuses it. He wanted the money in cash only. Napoleon, however, demands cash, which he receives. Wimper then learns that Frederick's bank notes are forgeries. They are the forgery notes Frederick had given to Napoleon, and Napoleon pronounces the death sentence on the traitorous human. And Frederick and 14 men arrive at the animal farm and attempt to take it by force. Although the humans are initially successful at the very first attempt in the initial stage of the battle of the windmill, they were about to get the success after they blow up the windmill. I mean, they completely destroyed the windmill. The animals are completely enraged and drive the men out of the farm. Squealer explains to the bleeding animals that despite that they may think they were actually victorious in what will hereafter be called the Battle of the Windmill. So there will be an annotation from this chapter. No animal shall drink alcohol to excess. Again, one more changes you find in the context of seven commandments. This line is taken from chapter 8. This is one of the commandments among the seven. Pigs are tampering with the commandments, and they are the ones who are changing the commandments in regular intervals. Actual commandment of old Moses is no animal shall drink alcohol. Actually, it was like this earlier. It was changed into no animal shall drink alcohol excess. There they have changed according to their own comfortabilities. The commandment to drinking is changed. Muriel says that the commandment that she thought to forbid drinking alcohol actually forbids drinking alcohol to excess. With the conclusion of this particular chapter, we have seen the interferences of human being, especially in the form of Frederick. He attacked against the animal farm. Finally, he was taken away from the animal farm, and Napoleon was not at all on screen in this particular chapter. He hid himself. Some other places. Yeah, he is a representative of a leader, and who is supposed to be not a convinced and a prompt leader among all the animals. The animals have shown their great kind of a strong nature as well as powerful attitude in order to take rebuild the windmill, as well as taking away the human beings out of the farm. Every commandments of the animal farm changed according to the convenience of the pigs. And total dictatorship held in the animal farm, we will see. This is an important notice, the total dictatorship which is held in the animal farm so fantastically in the leadership of Napoleon, who takes complete control over the animal farm. And the animals are cheated finally. Battle of Windmill show the reality of the characters. Thus, the chapter ends with so many important incidents. I hope you understood the concept pretty clearly. Thank you very much. Happy reading. Stay safe.